on, guys? Back with another video. On my way to the gym again and then work after that. But starting to get consistent again with these videos. I think this is the third day in a row, which is a lot better than missing like an entire week. But yeah, topic for today is actually happening tonight. It is why I really want Charles Oliveira to win, but he will probably lose to Ilya. So if y'all don't know, I'm talking about the UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship. And tonight, two legends are going to fight. In Ilya Topuria, who he's been making his way up the ranks. He became the featherweight champion, I think that's the weight class. And then he was just sweeping all the featherweights. So he decided to move up to lightweight to fight Islam Makhachev, who has been fighting and sweeping every lightweight. And then Islam also moved up at the same time that Ilya moved up. So now the belt got vacated, so nobody has the belt at lightweight. Yeah, nobody has a belt at lightweight. So Charles Oliveira and Ilya Topuria are fighting for that belt. So for a little context about Charles Oliveira's been around forever. He's been fighting for a really long time at lightweight. He held the belt at one point, and I believe he defended it as well. But he actually lost the belt to Islam. So this is going to be a fucking insane fight. The biggest differentiator right now is size. So Ilya's a pretty small dude. I think he's like 5'6" or 5'7", and he comes from a featherweight background, so he's already like at a size disadvantage. Charles Oliveira is like 5'11", I think, and he's been a lightweight. So come fight night, I think Charles is going to look a whole lot bigger than Ilya, because after the weight cut, Ilya's not going to be able to put on as much weight as Charles does, so I wouldn't be surprised if Charles comes into the fight 10-15 pounds heavier. With that said, it's going to be a really hard fight for Charles to win. Because in the past, Charles has some of the situations he's gotten into that, you know, put him in a dark place, tough place to get out of, came from strikers. You know, fighting Dustin Poirier, fighting Michael Chandler, fighting Justin Gaethje. He got dropped by a lot of those guys, and, you know, he came back and won most of those fights. Okay, this turn is a little too much for my phone. But yeah, he's been dropped multitude of times. And, you know, Ilya has that power. Ilya has that power in both hands. He has those combinations. So on the feet, if Ilya can get within Charles' range and, you know, just land one of those big hits, it's not going to look good for Charles. But if it goes to the ground, Charles has a huge advantage on the ground. One, because of size, and two, because he is Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. If you don't know about Charles Oliveira, he has the most finishes in the UFC by knockout and tap out. He chokes guys out on the regular. He knocks people out on the regular. Charles Oliveira is that fucking guy. So it's going to be a really good fight. I don't know if I'll even be able to watch it, but I cannot wait to see what happens, because Charles has such a size advantage, but Ilya is so sharp. His skills are so good. He has faced adversity in the past. In one of his fights, Ilya got dropped by a head kick early, and, you know, he came back and knocked that guy the fuck out. I believe it was against Jai Herbert. Something like that. But yeah, he took a head kick, got dropped, took it to the ground, and then made it through that round. Next round, right hand knocked him the fuck out. Also, though, Charles gets dropped, and he always finds a way to make it back and win, except against Islam, because Islam is the GOAT, unfortunately. But I want both of them to win, because I love both of them. Like, Ilya is such an entertaining fighter. He always puts on a show. We're back. My phone overheated earlier, like right whenever I got to the gym, so I didn't get to finish the video, but I hit legs, fucking hammered legs. Oh my god, my shit is done. Yeah, I was fucking dying. Got this though. Bucked up clear protein. It's actually not bad. It just kind of tastes like throw up, but that's chill. Anyway, I was talking about Charles Bronx Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria, the Georgian versus the Brazilian. I don't remember all of what I said, but I'll just give kind of a closing and my final thoughts on what I think is going to happen and what I want to happen. I think first round, they're just going to feel each other out. Ilya probably won't land too much in the first round. He usually doesn't. Charles will probably stay on his feet the first round. And then second round, I think Ilya's going to land a good shot. And it's going to go to the ground. And I think Charles is going to dominate him on the ground. And, you know, I don't think Ilya has a jiu-jitsu to counter Oliveira. I mean, Charles' jiu-jitsu is just ridiculous. Like, he is a submission artist, and he gets that shit done. And I think my prediction right now is Oliveira submission round 2. I'm not going to say how he's submitted, but I'm just going to say Oliveira submission round 2. Maybe that'll happen. That'd be fucking crazy if that happens and I predict it. But if you are going to bet on it, definitely bet on Charles, because if you bet Ilya, you're going to win like nothing. He's at like minus 400 favorite or some shit. So you might as well bet on, you know, Charles. But yeah, that's my prediction, and we'll see what happens. I'll talk to y'all later.